Howdy YouTube, Darlington Farm here, just over here in the wood shop putting the finishing touches on my one of my 8-foot arches here. Here it is, and I think it turned out pretty well. The only thing I don't like about the molder I currently have is depending on the knives, if there is a projection down, you'll get a little bit of distortion on a radius like this. But again, it just kind of depends on the knives, and I'm not really sure if there's really any way to do away with that, since you're taking a straight knife and kind of running it on a curve here. But works really well. Just to come back in here with my brush sander, you can kind of smooth that out. Also, the just a drum here in my T18, and you can come along here and kind of feather out the differences between the arch, or between the radius part and the straight part. And also on the belt sander, or with the belt sander here, I made these a little long, where you can sort of see right there. There was a tag of about a little over 1/8 of an inch on this front part here, where that was the end of where my knife was, which also is the part that caused the distortion here in the radius. But I left that just a shade long, just where I could kind of come back and smooth out any irregularities. If I do future ones here, I may try and avoid that. I don't know what, again, this is kind of my first attempt here at a big one like this. It's definitely a pain in the butt doing a large arch like this. I had to move everything around here in the shop. As you can see, I had to kind of shuffle everything out of the way, and I still have these two 10-foot versions of this to go. So I don't know, trying to decide if I want to take any jobs like this in the future. They're pretty profitable, but they're kind of a pain in the butt to do, and it takes quite a while compared to just running straight molding. But then again, with the machinery I have, I'm kind of limited on the straight, or the amount of straight molding I can run, so I guess it kind of washes out. I am, however, thinking of, I don't know if anybody out there has any experience with, I believe it's pronounced Logasol or Logasol. I don't know exactly how you say it. It's a Swedish machine where they have a four-head molder that is actually really cool. The guy I buy my lumber off of has one, and it's really slick. It runs about 12,000 bucks, and it's a four-head. You can get it in a single phase, which is kind of cool, where it just has 4 or 5 horse, or I think they're 4.4 or 4.5 horse motors. But it looks really neat, and it's not super huge. It's about the same size as my Powermatic planer here, maybe a little bigger, where it doesn't have a huge shop footprint. Kind of what I'd been thinking about was trying to find a used, or maybe like a $5,000 to $10,000 wing, or something along those lines. If you watch at auctions, you can pick them up, but the problem is they're huge. I mean, they're half again as big as my cabinet saw here, so it would really take up a huge footprint in the shop here, and then you need 15, 16 feet, or 16 feet on either side of it if you're going to run 16-foot lumber, and I just don't frankly have the room for that. If you've got a 14 to 16 foot long molder, and then 16 feet on either side of it, or at least 10 or 12 feet to be able to run that. And I just don't have the room in here until I can build a new shop, so I'm kind of looking at that Logasol or Logasol, and say it looked like a pretty slick machine. I kind of need to, or next time I go over there, I'll take a look at it and see, see if I can actually have him run some molding while I'm there. But it looks pretty nice, and he was happy with it, so it's pretty cool. I definitely kind of want to find something that'll run stuff faster. I really love the flexibility of the Hussey knives there, where they're super easy to change over. He was saying that with his Logasol there, it takes hour and a half or so to change over between moldings, versus with the Hussey setup, where the knives just bolt on, it takes me 5-10 minutes to change over. So I don't know, see how it goes and see how the business picks up. Right now, I'm at the point where I haven't gotten to the point where I'm turning down business, but I've decided to raise my prices and see if that kind of slows my business down. I'm kind of hoping it does. I don't really like to say no, I'm too busy, but I don't really want to raise my prices up to the point where nobody will buy stuff from me. But I'm kind of experimenting with just raising my prices and you know, seeing if people still buy stuff. And I guess if they do, it's a good problem to have. But you know, if they don't, I kind of thins down my work. I'm kind of deciding or trying to take more jobs that I actually want to do rather than just you know, looking at it as you know, well, this is just you know X amount of money. So anyway, yeah, trying to decide. You know, what I want to do there. The Logosol there runs about 1,600 feet an hour versus, you know, that's about what I can run in a day with my current setup. So that would really speed up my production, and it's not super expensive. It only is, I think, 12,000 bucks. So I don't know. I'm kind of noodling with the notion of picking one of those up. So anyway, I'll just my phone's ringing. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Click, comment, subscribe.